Hey guys, Andy here. Welcome back to more Andy's Podcast Hour. So I had this idea where the Nanny, it was a TV show from the 90's. Now, if they made like episodes centered around like the 90's, like around like the 90's and NASCAR, because NASCAR in the 90's were being being pretty popular too. So what if the Nanny decided to cash in on that success? So I think one episode, if the main episode centers around the 1992 Hooters 500 Atlanta between Al Quickie and Bill Elliott, and if I think half of the Sheffield family went for Al Quickie, and the other half, including Fran Fine, went for Bill Elliott. Now in that episode where Bill won the race, but he didn't get a second championship. I think, and Brian said, I'm going for Bill because he's the known driver. He's the ultimate underdog." And Fran said, "I go for Bill because hey, he won his first championship way back in 1988. Even though the Sheffields, Maxwell Sheffield, he's from England. He does know what NASCAR is, but over the course of like episodes, he watches the dominance of owner drivers such as Bill Elliott. Yeah, and in the last episode, I explained briefly about owner drivers in the 90's like Darrell Waltrip, Bill Elliott, Jeff Bodine. Yeah, I know, right? Even though those guys are from New York, ever since 1992 Hooters 500, they became diehard NASCAR fans. Even I think Fran Fine has a soft spot for the Intimidator himself, Dale Earnhardt. I might tell this episode, the Nanny and NASCAR in the 90's. Yeah, I'm gonna title this episode. Or possibly I might cheat a little bit and skip over to onto the 2000's. And I think I think in 1998, as I explained before, the Shepherds were split between Al Quickie and Bill Elliott. Now the next episode is like it's what centers on Jeff Gordon and Martin Martin's dominance in the NASCAR Cup season. And for those born in the 90's, like 1997, 1998, Martin Martin and Jeff Gordon won 20 races in that season. Jeff won 13, Mark won 7. And the Chevrolets were split. Like, half went for Jeff Gordon, other half went for Mark Martin. Even though Fran Fine had a soft spot for Mark Martin as well. Yep, Mark Martin was an underdog who never won a championship. Yep, he was the greatest driver, whoever it was. Exactly, and he was competing on the. He was the greatest of all time. While competing against the great drivers of all time, such as Jeff Gordon, and Dale Earnhardt Sr. And I'll be skipping 1999, but 2001. I think it's like the Nanny slash is like a NASCAR crossover. Now the final episode of the NASCAR Nanny saga is the 2001 Daytona 500. We all remember it. I was I was like only one at the time, even though I never heard about it. But all of NASCAR, more for Dale Earnhardt Sr. He was like 50 at the time. Sure had a few more starts than him though. Every time I think about that race, I feel a little dead inside, you know. That's where it's the Sheffields and Miss Fine attended that race. And on the final corner of the final lap, Dale Earnhardt Sr. tried to get crashed on the last lap, giving his teammate Michael Waltrip and his son Dale Earnhardt Jr. a 1-2 finish. And I think they made an extra episode where Brighton Sheffield had some Maxwell Sheffield's kid. He was interviewed about the 2001 Daytona 500. He said, "Ever since Dale Earnhardt Sr. died, my family were diehard NASCAR fans ever that. Even my dad was a big Intimidator fan." Also, it was like alluded to his dad's fondness for the Intimidator. And as I said before, I think Frank Fine had a soft spot for both the Intimidator, that's Dale Earnhardt Sr., and Mark Martin. Yeah. I don't know where I went with that idea. So that's 2 more podcast episodes out of the way. This one, which was, I'm gonna be calling this like the Nanny and NASCAR, the 90's and the early 2000's. And the previous episode was what if the logos were owner drivers. So yeah, there you guys go. I'll be uploading these tomorrow. No, I'm gonna upload them tonight. Oh, see you guys later. Subscribe for more in this podcast hour. Like, comment, subscribe to all that good stuff. See you guys later. Bye guys. Peace out. I farted.